So as we're now at the start of the new academic year, you need to get your Zoom. Get on your Zoom. Forget what your friends are doing. Forget the motives. Forget the little shopping dates to Zara. Forget the holidays. Your time starts now, babe. The clock is ticking, you're running out of time. Don't be like me. That's what I'm gonna say. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Cheyenne, if you're new here, aka Shyseries. And this is episode 19, I think. To be fair, this is my second video I filmed in one sitting. And I said it was episode 18 in the other video, so I hope that was right. But anyways, so in this video, I really wanted to come on here and give you guys some tips and tricks on how to survive in your final year of university, because trust me, I've been there, done that. I literally graduated a few months ago, and there are so many things I wish I had done differently. And sometimes in final you're kind of left in the dumps and just left to fend for yourself. It's kind of hard to like navigate the last few months. It's not even a year, it's basically 6 months, I think, of your university experience. You don't have to trust me, but I'm gonna be completely real and transparent with you guys and tell you the things that you should be doing from now until you graduate. So sit tight and stay tuned. So I don't want to bore you guys too much, but I've written down a few little, I think I've written 5, yeah, I've literally written 5 points that I think would have really helped me in my 3rd year of uni. The first one is act immediately. I'm just telling you guys straight up, act immediately. Don't be waiting for your assignments to be round the corner. To be fair, this goes for 3rd, 2nd and 3rd year, but most importantly 3rd year. Like, the workload gets so intense, you need to get the ball rolling. Don't think that you've got all the time in the world, because you really don't. It comes so fast and you get so much thrown at you at once. You need to just start ASAP. Go through the assessment brief, see what it is that they're asking from you, try to understand what you need to do, and just get cracking at it straight away, because you don't want to leave it till like a week, 2 weeks before it's due where you're starting it. Some people can do work the night before and still get like a first. That's great, but I don't think it's worth the risk in your final year, honestly, because every single module counts to your final grade. It's not worth the risk. You want to make sure that the work that you're actually producing is like adequate and is to the best of your ability. So yeah, that's one of the main things. But 2, you just want to make sure that you're really like putting in each assignment, you're putting in all your effort into each assignment and not putting more effort into one as opposed to another one, whatever. Because I know it's easy to start the fun assignments first and then leave the boring, tedious, shitty ones last, let's be real. But you can't really like be picky in 3rd year. Just start as soon as you know what to do. The hardest part about an assignment or anything in life in general is just starting it. So start it and then just keep adding to it as you go along, and eventually by the time the deadline comes around, you've basically nearly finished it. It might just be a cheeky little conclusion or like a proofread and you're done. Okay, the next one is ask for help. Make sure you ask for help. Like, use those supervisors. I'm not being funny, but you're paying to be there and they're there for a reason. So don't feel like a pester. Don't feel like you're annoying them. They're literally there for a reason, and they're the ones that have your best interest at heart. They know what the assessment is asking of you. They know what you need to do to succeed. So make sure you're really using them. One thing that I really abused in my 1st, 2nd and 3rd year of university is not using my supervisors and stuff like that. Like, they're literally one email away. They will make time for you, believe me when I say that. But you can also speak to them in person. If you have a seminar or a lecture, you can literally wait behind and have a word with them. Like, they're not gonna pick their bags up and run away. Just pester them as much as you need. Use them as much as you need them, especially when dissertation season starts. Don't wait for them to come to you, because they won't, and that's one mistake I made. They're not doing check-ins. The only time they're ever gonna do check-ins is when you're doing like meetings with your group, or you know, it's like a schedule, it's already like a pre-scheduled meeting. They're not gonna check in on you in their own time. The 3rd one is dedicate your 1st semester to research. This one is obviously more specific to dissertation stuff. I know not everybody does a dissertation as such, but if this applies to you, then great. The hardest part about dissertation genuinely is the research, because writing it is easy, condensing is all easy because you're just putting pen to paper and just summarizing what you found and things like that. But the research is genuinely the hardest part, because some things are harder to comprehend and like break down and analyze, and you're going to need primary research, secondary research, all of these things, and it can just get so overwhelming. So if you dedicate from now till Christmas holidays to just research, like finding out what it is you want to do your essay about, and just finding any information that you think is going to back up your point and back up your debate and whatever it is that you're trying to discuss and whatnot, then you will really be setting yourself up for success once like the new year comes around. Because once it hits January, oh my god, it comes so quick. Be proactive and make sure you're thinking 10 steps ahead. Start that research from now, because I didn't do that, and then when it got to like January, I didn't even know what I wanted to do. I think up until like February maybe, I still was like, what am I even doing this about? Because I was just so like mentally checked out with uni, and I just really wanted to be done, if I'm honest. So I wasn't really taking it seriously until it got serious. Okay, the fourth one is organize your notes and your research. It's so important to organize your notes and your research, because there's so much of it. And I think, again, back to the whole research stuff that I was talking about, it can be so overwhelming and so mind-boggling, sorry, should I say, when you're trying to find notes and you don't know where you put it, and there's just when everything is everywhere, it's so hard to start, because you don't know where it was, like which book that you found this quote from, and it gets so confusing, honestly. One thing that a lot of my friends at uni did is they got little journals specific to like each module, and they organize all their notes in there. Or you can download apps or go on like different websites. I think there's a website called what was it called, and it was really good. A lot of my course mates used it as well, where you can like organize all your notes and things online, which is easier because I guess you can like modify it just on your laptop basically. But there's things like Notion, which is the one that everyone was pretty much using on my course. You've got like Microsoft Notes, you've got Evernote, any like digital notes website, really, really good. But having like a little notebook is also really good for when you're in like your seminars, your lectures, things like that as well. So much easier when you've got everything lined up in order and you know where you're looking. Honestly, like it's pretty self-explanatory, but just make sure you're numbering things, you're putting things in folders, and everything is very clear and concise, because you're gonna need it when you're writing up your information and like putting it on paper. So yeah, that is number 4. Okay, and lastly, which is probably the most important one personally, and I can't stress this one enough, is to get outside. Get outside. And I don't mean outside, I don't mean that kind of outside. No, we're not talking about that. That can wait, do you know what I mean? You need to be taking regular breaks, honestly. Like, do not overwork yourself. That is the last thing you want to do. It's not worth it. Do not overwork yourself. Obviously, I don't know if you're that student that does the 24-hour night shift in the library, but it doesn't have to get to that. Like, it's only ever going to get to that if you've not done the preparation beforehand. Do you know what I mean? And yes, I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I was that person as well, like spending hours and hours on end in the library, but that's because I was not prepared. Like, I was leaving everything to the last minute and trying to do it all in one sitting. It's not worth it. Honestly, it's not worth it. I do not recommend. I do not recommend. Take regular breaks. Have a change of scenery as well. That could mean obviously getting outside and getting in touch with nature. But even if you're studying, change your study space. Study in a cafe, study outside, study in the park, study at home, and just change it up so it's not boring and tedious. Like, studying doesn't have to be boring. I know it is sometimes, but it doesn't have to be. Do little things for yourself, you know? Like, meet up with friends here and there. Don't stop having a life is what I'm trying to say. Like, your mental health is at the top of the hierarchy. That is the most important thing. Like, no amount of work is worth losing sleep over. Like, you shouldn't have to be having sleepless nights and not eating. That's another thing. Make sure you're eating like really good, fulfilling meals, because like, it shouldn't have to get to that. Like, I don't know why we've actually normalized that, and I feel like I sound like I'm like telling you guys what to do. I'm literally not, because again, I was literally that student as well. But these are just things that shouldn't be normalized, and these are things that if you're doing the opposite, you'll be fine. Like, you'll be able to tackle it. Just make sure that you're getting enough rest and you're eating healthy and you're just prioritizing yourself, and not in the way that I was going on holidays. But I hope I wasn't rambling on too much and I wasn't waffling for too long. You guys will be fine. I wish you guys all the best. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video, and I will see you next one. Bye.